demonstrator in Australia, and it is Tuesday night, so it is time for my weekly online class to go. So if you're new to my Facebook page or YouTube channel, welcome. Each week on Tuesday nights I do a live class. We make 3 projects using usually a featured stamp and die or stamp and punch bundle. And then for anyone who places an order of $75 or more, and that's before shipping and after any Stamp and Rewards redemption, in my online store before the end of Saturday night, I will send you the kits to make 2 each of the 3 cards from this week's class. So this week the featured bundle is the Exciting Times bundle. It's a stamp and punch bundle, and I'll just switch my camera around and show you the projects first. So these are the 3 projects for this week. So if for the class kits, you'll get all the cardstock designer series paper, normally any punched or die cut shapes that are not part of the featured bundle. There aren't any this week. So the punch is the rounded rectangle punch, and then you just need to add your own stamps, ink, and embellishments. I do include any ribbon or twine. There's just a little bit on the third one. So the stamp set for this bundle is this one. So it's mostly sentiments and then a couple of label stamps. The punches out in this larger one, that center rectangle, which is what I've used on this one. That is, you can punch that out of that shape, which is what I've done on the second one, and then used a second white one over the top. So that's the featured bundle for this week, and that goes with the rounded rectangle punch. So let me just get things back, and we'll get started with this one here. This one is actually a gift card holder. So this is the little pocket on the inside for your card, and I've used the rounded rectangle punch to punch the little notch in there. So really easy gift card holder. I've just got an extra score line here, and then let me just double check. Yes, it is the long edge. I always forget. And we'll just punch out a little notch here. And for anyone who is placing an order to get the kits, you will also receive the PDF tutorials. So you'll have all the products used, the measurements, and written instructions as well. So you can make that as deep or as shallow as you like. So I'm just going to fold on both of these lines to start. So we're just going to tape that down. So we just want to tape the 2 sides down. So make sure your tape or whatever adhesive you're using is right at the edge, so you've got plenty of room for your gift card or whatever you decide to pop in there. I'm just going to add that. Actually, yes, I'm going to add just a tiny bit more at the top. I'm going to take this one off first and then whack the other one over the top. I just want to make sure it does adhere properly at the top there. Alright, so we can fold that in, press that down. So that's all good. Then I have some garden green two-tone, so you can use the light or the dark side of the two-tone, some basic white, and then a piece of DSP. So I'm going to use the dark side for this one. Where's my glue? There it is. Just have to double check what I originally did. So pop that down. And let's just check, make sure I've actually cut this correctly. Yes, I have. And you can always make the white piece shorter and just have the DSP directly over the garden green. I just went with this way because I already had pre-cut pieces in this size, so it was quicker and easier to put together. But it's up to you, either way works perfectly fine. Okay, let's pop that one down. Okay, let's just drain that up a bit. Alright, there we go. Alright, now we can turn over to the front. And I'll just double check. Yes, the garden green piece it's not a perfect square, but it's actually it's very close, so you just want to double check before you start adhering and make sure you've got everything the right way round. And then we can pop this one down on the front. Alrighty, let's put that to the side for the moment, and we will bring in these ones. So for this one, let me just double check which ink I used. Yes, Secret C for this one. So this is Cloud Cover cardstock. This is the two-tone, so I'm going with the light side for this one. And then Blackberry Bliss will do the sentiment at the same time. May as well do the punching together, or stamping together, and then the cutting and punching together. So just make sure you allow enough space for the white space around your stamped image or your sentiment. And just going to, and that one didn't. No, I didn't do a very good job of that. Let's try that again. I don't think that was inked up particularly well, so let's try again. I may need to re-ink. That's a bit better. Still not perfect, but better. Alrighty, and let's just try and slightly tidy up a bit. It's a bit of a mess, more so than usual, because I am, as well as the usual stuff that I'm working on, usual weekly classes, also working on the 12 weeks of Christmas projects at the moment, so I have even more stuff than usual on the table, piled up behind me, in boxes to the side, all over the place. And so my weekly email tomorrow will have the link to the registration forms for the 12 weeks of Christmas if you want the kits. So we are doing the Make and Take kits again this year. So they'll have some 2 half packs of DSP, 2 lots of embellishments plus some twine, and then all the cardstock that you will need for all 12 projects. So you can, the form to register for those is in my email, which will be out tomorrow morning. And the paper and ribbon share for the upcoming catalogue, that is still open as well. So the details to register for that are also up in that email tomorrow. So if you're not already on my email list, if you just head over to handmadeafterdark.com.au and sign up to my email list there, and then you'll get all the emails, all the event details and class details and sales and offers and all the rest of it. All right, let's punch this one out, just line it up. I think that's, there we go. Okay, so now give me a sec. I just need to check. No, that's all good. Computer was just being a bit funny, but it seems to all be okay. So we are going to pop this one down in the center. And you can pop either this one or the center one up on dimensionals. I'm leaving them flat just because I am popping up the flower that I'm going to add after this. That's going to be popped up on dimensional, so I'm going to keep this one flat. Let's just line that up a bit better. There we go. That's better. Oops. And I have pre-cut or pre-fussy cut one of the flowers and leaves from the same designer series paper that I used for the front, which is the Florals in Bloom paper. So the leaf I'm going to sit flat. So that's going to sit about there. So we'll put this one down about there. And then it's going to sit there. Then for embellishments, I'm just using some of the Garden Epoxy Dots. These are Last Chance List. So they are quite possibly at a discount. And that one is sticking to my finger, so I'll just use my finger to bring it across. Because why not? So I'm just going to add a few of those to this one. And there we go, nice and easy. So there's your little card and gift card holder in one. And of course you can add some extra stamping on the inside if you wish. But I'm just keeping this one nice and simple. You can add whatever you like to this one. Now let's move on to the second one. Let me bring this one back in. So this one, so basic white card base for this one. Now for the stamped, or the main stamped image, I used the Wild Bunch stamp set. And for those who are familiar with the product of the month items, this was a product of the month offering recently. It sold out super quick. It sold out before the end of the month, so you had to be very quick, and in Australia at least it's the first one that has sold out before the end of the month, but it's super cute, so I'm not surprised. All right, but if you don't have that one, but you want something similar, just any stamp set with, you know, cute animal images of some sort, anything like that is going to work perfectly fine. So I've embossed the basic black cardstock with the So Swirly. I think it's a So Swirly. There are two, no, Soft Waves. There is also a So Swirly embossing folder. They're both either retired or last chance list. I'm not sure if this one is still available, but for the class kits, for those who are doing the kits, I do emboss the cardstock for you, so you don't need to have the embossing folder. I will emboss it for you. That's not an issue. Alrighty, let's get this down. So we're just going to pop this one across the center, and then that's just going, oops, in the center. Okay. So let's pop that one down. All right. So let's move that over to the side for a sec. I just need to make sure I clean this one before I stamp it again, because I'm using a different color. So this time I am using Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. Now I'm just using black ink, just to make sure it's well inked up. Okay. Then we will get the punch, and we're just going to punch out the center. So we just want to line that up carefully. And that looks pretty good. So we're going to heat emboss that in a sec. But first, we will cut around this one, and I'm just going to trim that edge there. And my other scissors. Let's try my Alright, so we're just going to, same as the first card, just fussy cut around the edges. I have at least fussy cut the snail, so you don't have to watch me, sit and watch me cutting that one out. That one is already done. Alright, there we go. That's no, I'm just going to tidy this one up a tiny bit. That's better. Alrighty, so that is done. Now we have a little bit of, we need to do some stamping, some ink blending, and some colouring. So let's colour first. So I'm using crisp cantaloupe for the snail. Well, for the bottom. There we go. And then lemon lime twist for the shell. Hi Dimity, how are you? And I'm just going to use the bullet tip for the darker one. So for this one I'm just going darker in the center and then sort of lighter to the sides, but I'm not going to be too fussy with it. Just add extra dark in the center and just the light one, or mostly the light one in or out the edges, but I'll add just a little bit and then go over it again. And we'll just add a touch more of the light to the outside. Darken the center touch. There we go. That should do it. Alrighty. Then for this little piece we are going to got a little bit of stamping, so I'm using one of these sort of texture background images from what is it, Nature Symphony stamp set, and I'm just going to use some, no, not Golden Glow, Cantaloupe. That snail dimity is from the Wild Bunch one. That was the product of the month that sold out super fast. So I'm gonna stamp off, and I might stamp that one off a couple of times. Picked up a little too much ink, I think. A bit more in the center, so I'm gonna make sure that's well stamped off, because we just want enough. That's better. And then I'm going to add some very light ink blending, so Granny Apple Green first, so that is going down the bottom, and actually I may not even need to add more ink, so this is super light. It's just to take sort of the edge off the white. Didn't even need to get the ink out. Add enough not my enough on my brush. Now where has my, there it is, balmy blue for the top, and again super light. Oh, you didn't get one, did you? That is very disappointing. It went so fast. I don't think anyone expected it to go as quickly as it did, because none of the other months went that quickly. Hopefully someone will eventually be selling theirs and you can pick one up. So just going to add some very light balmy blue, and again just want to take some of the starkness away from the white and just give a very subtle effect, so it may not be particularly visible on camera, but it is there. You'll have to come down and visit me, Dimity, and then you can play with my set. Alright, let me move those out of the way before I end up making a mess. So we will put those to the side for the moment, and we will heat emboss this one. Now you don't have to heat emboss this one if you just want to stamp in black ink. That's absolutely fine. I just decided that I would. So embossing buddy, first get all the static off, get the sentiment. Well, I'm glad you can get the caravan out. Although if you came down here right now, you'd probably get bogged. We've just had way too much rain, and I'm getting flood alerts every 30 seconds on my phone from the Vic Emergency app. Alrighty. So we're just going to stamp that in the center. That's a little bit lower than I wanted, but we can deal with that. Yeah, we have had a lot of rain. Sunday it rained all day and all night. It started probably on the sort of late Saturday night, didn't finish until sort of sometime Monday morning. The dog was not impressed at all. No, don't blame him. Alrighty, let's just get this back in the jar before I end up spilling it everywhere, because I will. Let's move those out of the way, bring in my trusty clipboard and foil. And let's heat emboss. check. I think I got all of that. It's just actually, I'm just going to bring this out slightly, flip it around, just because the part of the letter closest to where the clipboard, where the clip is, didn't quite heat properly. That's a bit better. Alrighty. Okay, now we can put this all together. So we'll bring this back in. Alrighty, so we are going on an angle. I don't normally do stuff on an angle. I usually want everything straight, but this is one of those ones that it does just work. So that will go there, the snail will go in the center, and pop that there. So we're going to pop all of these up on dimensionals. So let me get my big ones out for this section. And just a couple of little ones in the middle there so it sits evenly. And I'm just going to adjust that ever so slightly. Come on. There we go. And that is going to go about there. So we need, now I think, these, I think I can just fit the side sections of the large dimensionals. I think, let me just flip this over. Yep, they will fit nicely, which means I don't have to go sticking a whole lot of separate pieces down. And for this one, it also doesn't really matter if they overhang into the center, because there's going to be another piece in the center that will cover up anything that happens to be showing. So if you do have dimensionals and they're a bit wider than you expected, just have them so they overhang into the middle and it won't be an issue. So I'm just going to come in on the other side. Could also use the foam strips for this one, but if you do, I recommend that you also then use them for the middle piece, because they do sit slightly higher than regular dimensionals. So if you have regular dimensionals for the middle piece and the strips for this one, your centerpiece is going to sit a bit lower. So let's just get these backings off. Okay, so that is going to sit about there, and then we will, and I'm going to grab some of these edge pieces just because they are starting to come off the side, so may as well use them. And we just go with a little one, a couple of littlies in the center. That should be fine. Actually, I will go with a little one just in the corner there. Okay, so let's pop that one down, and then I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals as well. Don't worry, I'm not going to try and get dimensionals on the little, and was that's not going to happen. But I will go for a little bit down the edge there. Let me just find a suitable piece. I won't need all of this one, but let's get that one in there. That can go back. This should be enough. Oops, one more to go. There we go. And we can pop that one down there. And then embellishments for this one, I'm going with the holographic resin dots. And I think rather than going down there, because I've got a bigger gap here because I messed that one up, I'm going to pop some up here. Oops. And I'm going to go with one of the larger ones, and then let's also go add a few more. Just going to use a mix of sizes. And we can fold that one over, and there is the second one done. Alrighty, on to the third and final, and I can pull out my piece that I had started putting the dimensionals on, just so you don't have to sit and watch me trying to get lots of little thin strips on. So this one, Pecan Pie card base, and I've used the DSP from the Waterside Retreat pack. So both this piece and then all my fussy cut pieces, which I have fussy cut ahead of time, so you don't have to sit and watch me doing all of those. So let's pop this one down. I'm just going to move my twine over here, otherwise I will forget that it needs to go on. Okay. So pop that one down, and then I'm going to add some baker's twine. So this is from the Essentials pack. So we just need enough to wrap around twice, so that is going to be plenty. Starting to run out, might need to order some more. So what I'm going to do, because it's twine and not really going to use tear and tape the way I would with ribbon, but we will get it across, so get it in the center, pull it as firmly as you can, and then we will add a little bit of tear and tape over the top in the center where it's going to be covered anyway, and that's just going to help hold it in place. Flip it over, tape it down at the back, just pull it taut so that at the front it is sitting taut, so even if it means you've got a bit of a bubble there, that's fine, because it'll still sit flat, and it doesn't matter. You can always chuck some tape over that bit as well if you want to make sure it doesn't start moving around. So let's do that. Alrighty, so that is now good to go on the front. So I'll take the backings off, because we may as well make the most of the double-sided tape. Alrighty, let's get that down. Okay. Alrighty, we'll pop that to the side for just a minute. Now I'm just going to clean my stamps before I forget, because I need to use a completely different color. So let's just give them all a bit of a clean. Alrighty, so this one, now once I find my cardstock piece, where is my spare cardstock piece gone? Hiding. I've got plenty though. I don't think I'm going to be running out of white cardstock anytime soon. Alrighty, so we will do the border piece first. So I'm using grey granite for this one. And then Misty Moonlight for sentiment. Just want to make sure I've actually got that inked up properly. I think I have. We'll soon find out. Yep, all good. Alrighty, let's just move some of this out of the way a bit. Then we can punch this one. Just move it across just a little. Alrighty. Okay, and bring this one back in. Now I have firstly cut a bunch of pieces from the DSP, the Waterside Retreat, and I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. Is that the one? I think I'm missing a. No, I've got that one. I suspect I am missing one of a different color, because that is not the one I was supposed to have. Oh well. It will have to do, because I'm not going to make you sit and wait while I cut another piece. I am just going to double check I haven't got anything hiding in plain sight, but I don't think I do. I thought I had them all sorted and arranged. Well, I did, but I've obviously messed up somewhere along the way. Oh well. That will be fine. So, actually, no, I don't. I have the right number. So, that will go, this one will pop up on dimensionals. And when it comes to cutting out the these pieces from the DSP, don't ignore the ones where it's partially missing, because if it's going to sit behind the sentiment piece, so say one of the sample ones that I did with this piece, I cut one that was one of the edge pieces, so it didn't have the bottom bit, but because it was sitting behind there, you can't see it. So don't ignore those ones. You absolutely can use them. So I'm going to, that one is going to sit behind, so I just need to be mindful, particularly with that one, with dimensionals, just in terms of placement. So I will stick, that one will go behind, that one will go behind. So I'm just going to pop this one down first, just because it's a full one, and if I put the dimensionals on, I'll end up not being able to get this far enough under. So let's spread that out rather than having big chunks of adhesive. So if that's going to sit there, we want this one about there, and that should be good to go. So now we can pop this one down. Oh yes, doesn't really matter, but I will take that backing off. Not going to make that much difference with this one, but we'll do it anyway. Alrighty, so actually I'm going to pop this one down now because some of the backings are already off because they're some very narrow pieces. And you can always, if you don't want to be cutting little thin pieces of dimensionals, just have more of the oars sitting up on the sentiment, so it doesn't need so much. So that's going to sit there, that's going to sit there, and I'm just going to tuck that piece under, press it down. That's all good. And that's actually going to, I'll lift that one up slightly just so I can fit this one under, and I may need to just nudge that up a little bit. That's fine. So this one will sit. This one's going to sit flat. And that one is also going to sit flat. I'm just going to pull that up slightly so I can tuck it under a bit further. Helps if you don't press down too hard on the dimensionals at first, and then you've got a bit of leeway to adjust if you need to. So that one will sit there. This one is going to be popped up. So we can put that one there, and then some embellishments for this one. I've got two lots. I've got the, no, not those ones. That is definitely not the right one. This is the one we want. The loose anchor trinkets and the metallic gems. Where are they hiding? There they are. Let's do these ones first. Now, did I use gold or copper? I think I used, not that it really matters, you can use any one you like. I just want to double check, in part because I don't have many left and I need to, I've got more coming, but I need to make sure I have enough of what I had intended to have enough of. And let's go. I'm going over this side with this one. And then for the trinkets, so these are, there we go. Because of the size, and not the easiest, most straightforward one to adhere, and you want them to be fairly secure so they don't fall off. I'm just using glue dots, so I'm just going to grab a few glue dots and I'm just going to sort of roll them up, and they do like to stick to me instead of the embellishments, but I'm going to do 4, and that should be enough. You do have to fight with them a little bit to make them stay where you want them to stay, but they will eventually cooperate, eventually. And you can always adjust them. Yeah, if anything is sticking out once it's down, you can always adjust and put things back, tuck them back under. So that is fine to go. So that's going to go down there. So we pop it down, check if we need to adjust, but I think that's all looking pretty good, and that's pretty secure. That's not going anywhere. Oh, forgot the insert. Let's do that quickly. And then we can fold that one over, and there we go. That is the third and final card for this week. Alrighty, let me bring everything back in. So we have this snail, and we have the gift card holder. So these are the 3 cards for this week's class. So remember, you have until the end of Saturday night to get your orders in, to get the kits for these cards. And just a reminder, the registrations for the 12 Weeks of Christmas are still open. The link to the registration form will be in tomorrow's email, and the ribbon and paper share is still open as well, and the link for that will also be in tomorrow's email. So head over to handmadeafterdark.com.au if you're not already on my email list, and make sure you sign up to that. But that is it for tonight. Let me just switch my camera back. There we go. Alrighty, so next week's class is the Thoughtful Octopus. So that is just a stamp set. There's no coordinating die or punch that goes with that one, but that is next week's featured product. So that will be next week, and end of Saturday night for the orders for this week's class. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like the projects. If you're watching on YouTube, if you like the projects and you want to see more, get the alerts when I go live, just remember to like and subscribe. And until next week, happy crafting.